my ex-girlfriend's sister. Years later, she confessed I ruined her life.
Ain't that always the way it goes?
Editor's note, original names are G and V. I changed it to Gigi and Veronica. This might not seem like a big deal to most people reading, but it's become a big deal for me and my fiance. When I was 14, I became best friends with a girl. Let's call her Gigi. When we were 16, we started dating. Spent all our time together. Basic teenage love stuff. By the way, this comes from Marino Scopy, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. During this time, I became close with her little sister, Veronica, who was 13. Veronica and I were always friendly with one another. Some teasing, some fighting, but just general kids being kids. So Gigi and I dated for 4 years and ended up breaking up when we were in college because we wanted different things in our life. I was fine with having only Gigi as my partner for life, and Gigi felt like she'd be missing out on her girls just want to have fun days. This was obviously a pretty rough time for me, for Gigi, and for our whole friend group. The relationship was basically a corpse for several months, dragged along by our unwillingness to let each other go. She proposed an open relationship several times, and I just couldn't bring myself to agree to it. During this time, Veronica got pretty angry with her sister Gigi because Veronica, by that point, saw me as part of the family. I found out later that Veronica and Gigi got into regular fights about Gigi's inability to commit to me. At this time, Veronica was 17 years old and Gigi was 20, so it's not like Veronica could really force Gigi to do anything. Eventually, Gigi and I broke up, and our 4-year relationship and 6-year friendship came to an end. I felt the right thing to do was probably distance myself from Veronica as well, because being as close to Veronica as I usually was would mean that I'd never quite leave Gigi's life. This ended up backfiring because it made Veronica very upset, and she basically interpreted this to mean that Veronica and I were never really friends, and I was only tolerating her for Gigi's sake. Out of guilt or out of some selfish desire to not lose yet another piece of my life, I acquiesced to Veronica and we stayed friends. This was in 2014. By 2015, Veronica was 18 and I was 21. She came to the same college I was in and we were good friends. I always kept some distance with Veronica out of respect to Gigi. This means that no matter how friendly I was with Veronica, never really talked to her about really personal stuff or my romantic life. She was a good friend, but not a close friend. Then in late 2015, there was an incident where Veronica behaved extremely jealous towards a girl I was casually seeing. There was another incident in early 2016 where Veronica was found to be crap talking a different girl I was seeing. And when I confronted Veronica about it, Veronica basically confessed that she had developed feelings for me. I shut that down immediately because every part of it felt totally and viscerally wrong. But at the time, Veronica assured me that Gigi was okay with it and her mom was okay with it too. She put all her cards on the table and says that while she understands I view her as a kid, she'd like the chance to at least date me and change my mind. Obviously, she succeeded because as of February this year, she and I are engaged. Whoa, oh, okay. We've been together for 5 years now, and it's by far the best relationship I've ever been in. The only problem is that it turns out Veronica lied about one thing at the start of the relationship. While it's true that her mother loves me and was totally fine with Veronica dating me, Gigi was never okay with it. In fact, Gigi was very much not okay with it and has been vocal about this to Veronica. Gigi never said any of this to me because she and I were no contact. All of this is coming up now in 2020 because Gigi is over our apartment for the week, and on day 2 yesterday, she gets wasted and blurts out how I upgraded to a younger, prettier model by dating her little sister. Veronica was already passed out by this point, so she had no idea that Gigi said these things to me. But at the time, I got defensive and said that Gigi was okay with it at the time, so why did it bother her so much half a decade later? Then Gigi told me the truth about how she was never okay with it. But then she found out that I had agreed to give Veronica a chance, and it broke her heart, and she tried to let go of the jealousy she was feeling. 5 years later, she still feels intense pangs of jealousy, all made worse by the wedding planning for our 2021 marriage. Gigi says that she regrets asking me for a breakup, and the single life wasn't worth losing love for. She assured me that she wasn't trying to break Veronica and myself up or trying to get me back. She said that she just needed me to know how she really feels. She also attributes these feelings of rejection and loss as the cause of her depression, which incidentally has derailed her life for the last 4 years. So the times match up, I guess. What's the right move here? Do I tell Veronica about Gigi's confession? Do I pretend like I didn't hear any of this? Absolutely tell her. She's your fiance, and this is her sister confessing that she's in love with you. Yes, you should tell your partner. Gigi doesn't seem to remember what she said, or is playing it off like she didn't confess anything. I'm gonna talk to my fiance and let her know what happened. I'm not going to turn this into any more drama or big fight. Before I posted the last thread, I was going to just let this whole thing pass away and never speak to Veronica about it. But the majority of you felt it was best to at least be honest to Veronica, and at some point you all convinced me. So yesterday morning, I sat Veronica down and told her what had happened. Gigi was away at this point, so I had the privacy for a real conversation. A lot of people in the last post really mistook what kind of person Veronica is, in my opinion. Veronica isn't some kind of evil mastermind that was playing me, her mother, her sister, and everyone else like puppets dancing on her strings. When I met her, she was an earnest kid, and she grew to be an honest but determined teenager at the time that we started dating. I mentioned this so the people understand that this conversation wasn't an interrogation. I just wanted to know what she thought about what Gigi said. As it turns out, the truth is always somewhere in between, and I've learned a lot of new information. I just let her speak and get everything off her chest. I didn't interrupt to ask for clarification or interject to argue at any point. The way I'm going to write this down is probably annoying to read, but it's the way I process them. New equals totally new information. Confirmed equals info Gigi told me that Veronica confirmed. Messy equals info Gigi told me that wasn't fully honest. New information! Veronica's been in love with me for longer than I thought. Gigi and I were planning on taking her to the carnival in town on her 14th birthday along with her group of friends. But Gigi got sick, and Veronica was starting to get sick, so they figured the whole plan was canceled. I don't remember much of this event, but she remembers that I cheered her up and convinced her to go to the carnival. So it was me plus Veronica's friends. And when Veronica would get tired or need to sit down and rehydrate, I'd sit with her. She remembers that one of her friends was flirting with me and at one point gave me a compliment. And I redirected the compliment to Veronica, and it made Veronica feel like $1,000,000. Says this was the night she fell in love. Confirmed! Gigi suspected Veronica. Number 1, I used to shower at Gigi's house once in a while, especially during summer vacation. This only used to happen after pickup games if Gigi wanted to hang out afterwards. I'd leave dirty laundry here for Gigi to throw into the wash. Turns out, Veronica started helping her later on, and Gigi noticed that Veronica only helped her when my dirty clothes were in the hamper, never on a normal day. Confirmed. Gigi suspected Veronica. Number 2, senior year of high school, I took art history. I didn't give a crap about the class, but Veronica was super interested in hearing from me about it. Turns out Gigi caught Veronica researching my class topics several times so that Veronica could hold conversations with me. Confirmed, Gigi suspected Veronica. Number 3, Gigi knew that Veronica would put on makeup and tidy herself up every time I came to visit Gigi. Even if I'm just picking Gigi up to take Gigi out, Veronica would come downstairs with makeup on to chat with me for a bit before I left. I didn't mention to Veronica that I didn't notice at all. Messy! Gigi opposed Veronica's feelings, then came around. So Veronica told Gigi earnestly about her feelings for me before she even told her mom. This was 6 months after Gigi's and my relationship ended. Oh, Gigi got pretty heated at this, and a week after Veronica told Gigi, there was an incident between the sisters where Gigi basically chewed Veronica out. Gigi then told Veronica that I'd never fall for Veronica. This was when Veronica basically called out Gigi and said that Gigi would never be happy for me. In this conversation, Gigi explicitly said that if by some miracle I said yes to Veronica, then Gigi would put her tail between her legs and admit she was wrong. Gigi later, 1 month-ish, apologized about how she spoke to Veronica and said that if Veronica truly loved me, she was happy for Veronica. Messy! Gigi encouraged Veronica to confess to me. The next big episode regarding me came the month that Veronica confessed to me. Veronica and I were in a bit of a fight because I didn't like how she had behaved to a girl I was friends with benefits with. Veronica was crying at home, and Gigi basically encouraged Veronica to rip the band-aid off and tell me how she feels. This way, if I rejected Veronica, Veronica can at least move on, which I think is what Gigi was betting was gonna happen.
Correct.
Veronica asked Gigi if that was really okay, and Gigi said yes. Messy! Gigi was happy and scared when Veronica was about to confess. In a conversation the evening that Veronica was going to tell me her feelings, Veronica and Gigi spoke again over the phone. Veronica remembers that Gigi made a very iffy joke that suggested that Gigi was hurting. Veronica paused the convo and asked Gigi if she was really okay with this. Gigi backpedaled and insisted it was just a joke and said she was excited for her little sis. Veronica remembers the joke comment being something like, "Good luck getting the love of my life." The truth is more complicated, I guess. Turns out that Veronica had feelings for me a long time ago. Things like falling in love with me for taking her to a carnival on her birthday seem dramatic and immature in retrospect, but it's important bits that make up a bigger truth. Also turns out that Gigi had small nagging suspicions over the years, but most important is that it turns out when I was single and Veronica Veronica was working up courage to make a move, Gigi wasn't actually in opposition. Gigi ended up being a good sister and encouraging Veronica to chase what she wanted. What further complicates things is that Gigi used to express some insecurity about her body and how much more beautiful, read right, curves Veronica was back during the last 2 years of dating. I dismissed these insecurities and I used to laugh them off because at the time Gigi was 18 and Veronica was 15. How does an 18-year-old even compare herself to a 15-year-old? I didn't know that there was this underlying sentiment of competition over the years. To spend years feeling jealous of your little sister must have been torture. By the way, it'd be torture for you guys not to listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. This was the least dramatic way I could think to resolve this. Since Gigi either deceitfully or genuinely doesn't remember any of her confessions to me, I'm going to let sleeping dogs lie, I think. Veronica is perfect and I wish I could go back in time and take away the heartache she must have felt over the years as some insecure kid, not knowing if I'd ever love or not. I'm posting this update partly to organize my thoughts, but also in case anyone feels strongly that I should talk to Gigi. I believe letting this rest and not poking it anymore is the best option. Agree or disagree? Agree! Leave it alone! You've already told your fiance. That's all you needed to do. Don't bring this up with Gigi. My girlfriend is afraid I'll cheat on her. It's ruining our relationship.
Well, you might as well just do it then.
I, male 25, met my ex, Mike, male 29, last year through Instagram. I started talking to him in an effort to forget my previous ex, who cheated on me multiple times with men and a sweet girl who wanted a family with him. Just for clarification, I'm not the type of man that likes to hook up just for the sake of it. I love the intimacy of being in a relationship. By the way, this comes from Only Alive because, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. Having said that, I just wanted to try my luck with a fairly handsome guy. Since I wasn't having any luck with the ladies, I'm bi. We hit it off from the first message, but I did notice that every time we talked about the type of guys we like, he's just gay, Mike talked about liking guys older than me, taller than me, the works. So because of that, I decided to keep him as a friend, since I don't have any male friends from the LGBT community, even though I'm part of it myself, and even though I was already falling in love with him. This happened in the span of 4 months, more or less. Fast forward, we went out clubbing one night with some friends of his, 3 women, Mike and me. 2 of them are sapphic, and I wanted to get with the only straight one. However, we drank a lot more than we could handle, and after getting rejected by his friend, I went back to Mike just to dance and for him to cheer me up. We started dancing and getting closer and closer, and then he kissed me. I was taken aback by this, and he chuckled and then said, "I knew you wanted this so bad." And I started laughing with him. We kissed a lot more that night and kept dancing and having fun. The next day, I realized what had happened, and the feelings I tried so hard to ignore were bursting out of my heart again. We kept going out periodically, at least one night a month. Sometimes 2. To concerts, the movies, you get it. Somewhere down the line, my birthday happened. I don't like to celebrate it, but I get sad when people don't remember it. And Mike forgot. The following week, he realized he had forgotten my birthday and said he would make up for it. We planned to meet up at a mall to watch a movie and for him to give me my birthday present. His idea. When I got there, he gave me a big hug. I freaking love hugs. I'm a very physical guy. And he apologized and said that he left my gift in his car. I told him not to worry and said we could get it later. So we went to the movies, then for coffee. I did notice that he was hugging me a lot more than usual, but I didn't mind. As I said, I love hugs. Finally, Mike told me to accompany him to his car to get my present. I went with him. Then in his car, he told me to get in, as in he wanted to hug me and didn't want people to give us looks. I live in a very closet officery country in Latin America. That set an alarm in my head since he was hugging me not even 30 minutes ago, but I complied. I got in, he gave me my gift, I thanked him, and he gave me a hug. After that, he whispered in my ear if he could kiss me. It caught me off guard, and I couldn't answer, but he went for it and kissed me. I was floored. The same guy that I wanted to forget I had feelings for, and that I came to the conclusion had no feelings for me, was kissing me. Not only that, but while being sober. Mike told me that he liked me and asked if I liked him back. And I couldn't think of words to say it back, so I kissed him, and we started laughing and kissing. After that, we became a formal couple. We went out every 2 weeks since he lives a bit far from me, and he didn't want me to make the commute just for him. We both live with our parents and are still in the closet. Relevant information. Mike is a Swiftie. I swear, this will be important later. And I am not. I don't really like Taylor that much. Just some songs here and there. Mike has a group of friends that know each other just because of being Swifties. They make parties of their own, made a party when the Eras Tour was announced, things like that. Since I'm not a fan, I didn't mingle with their group, and when they had parties, I had no issue with him going alone with them. since, he was among his friends. Then it came Christmas, or more specifically, December 23rd, Mike's mom's birthday. His family made a dinner party at his house, and he invited me, of course, as a friend for his family's sake. I was so excited, as this was my first time meeting all of his family, and I wanted to make a great impression. So I really made an effort and bought his mom a great gift, and also a gift for Mike since we wouldn't see each other on Christmas Day. I gave her the gift, and she was very happy with it. And then I gave Mike his gift and told him how much I loved him, how much he meant to me, and that he deserved all of the goodness in the universe. He kept repeating that he didn't deserve it, and that I was being too generous. Do we think that he's guilty?
Sounds like he's got some internalized guilt.
It struck me as weird, but I too don't know how to take compliments or receive gifts. Sad, I know. So I brushed that off. Then on Christmas Day, we kept chatting updates on what our families were doing. Unfortunately, I had to work that day, but we made the best of it. At 9 p.m., when the last members of my family were going home, I got a message from Mike. It read, "We need to talk." I effed up. Ominous, and we all know what that message means. He called me crying and confessed that he kissed a friend of his during the Christmas Swiftie party they had at the beginning of December. He told me that he was so sorry and he didn't want to hurt me, but that he was accustomed to being alone. I didn't take it well. He knew what my ex did to me, and I asked him not to do the same thing to me. And he went and did the same thing to me. I was laying into him with my heart bleeding each word. At one point, I guess he got fed up and said, "I know I cheated on you, but it isn't like I did something illegal." I was flabbergasted at that, then told him that I hoped he was happy. I hope you're happy now. And not to do the same thing to the next dude that came into his life, that we were over. Mike only answered, "You really think there'll be another one?" I couldn't take it anymore, and I disconnected the call. I cried myself to sleep that night, and the following day, and the day after that, I was destroyed. He played me the same way my previous ex played me, and made me believe that in him being older, you would be a centered, mature individual who wouldn't cheat on someone who loves them with all their heart. I slowly started making progress and getting over him since January 2024. I started going to the gym more. I returned to college. Even then, I still missed him and wanted to get back with him, but hoped for his next relationship to be successful. An old teacher of mine who I told what happened and was in shock that he could do something like that, and whose boyfriend is part of the Swifties group, told me that he was cheated on by the guy he cheated on me with. Whoa, this guy's a serial cheater. And that if it were in my hands, that relationship would work for him. Last week, I went to a concert at a bar. The same band we went to see together for the first time was performing there. And even though I knew them only because of him, I wasn't willing to stop going to their concerts just because Mike could be there. I went with a friend of mine, and lo and behold, Mike went to the concert with no other than the guy he cheated on me with. But I didn't know that yet. At the time, I didn't mind all that much because I was with my friend, but when I went for more drinks for my pal and me to the counter, which was where they were unknown to me before going, I noticed that they were avoiding me. He went as far as getting up and going to the end of the bar with the other guy. I talked to my ex-teacher, and he was like, "I'm going to be honest with you. That's why I and Diego," his boyfriend, friend of Mike, member of the Swiftie friend group, "didn't come with you. We knew he'd be there, and the guy Mike's with, he cheated on you with him. They're still together." I don't know why, but that text broke me. I felt and still feel like the most replaceable piece of crap in the whole world. It feels like all the progress I was making of getting over him was destroyed, that it never happened. I feel as hopeless as that Christmas night. I thought I was ready to see Mike again, but I wasn't ready to see him with the guy he replaced me with. Now on to the issue. As I stated before, I still love Mike. I'm not downplaying the cheating or any of the other things he did to me in the past. One of them was arriving at my house almost 3 hours late for a road trip I planned a month in advance, and then getting angry with me for being mad at him. There was no emergency. He overslept, and unfortunately, it was a bad day for traffic. But I still miss him, and after seeing him with another guy, I'm second-guessing myself on whether or not I made the correct decision in breaking things off when he called me. Now, he hasn't contacted me or anything since the call, nor even tried to text me. Would it be a good idea to contact him and try to mend things? No!
Like, what do you mean?
No!
What do you mean by that?
I don't care what you mean by it. I don't care if you just want to be friends. Nope.
Do you mean like you have like a shirt you have a hole in and you're can you maybe fix this for me?
Please be kind. I truly am on the brink of pulling my hair out because of this situation. Edit. Sorry if I lost the trail of the story at multiple points. I tried to provide all of the context possible for you to understand how we went from friends to a situationship to a couple. And there is an update. Shout out to another user for your interest. One day what he told me then came back to me. 3-day, 2-night Christmas party, Christmas trip, and they only kissed? Yeah, nah. Chances are that they were doing the nasty up until the morning of the first day, then some of the second day. And on the third day, he might have felt a little bit guilty and only told me about the affair for me to break up with him, make me the bad guy in his mind, and for him to be able to go with the other guy without feeling guilty. Not much of a follow-up to my story, but an update of how things are going as for today. Therapy has been great. It's helping me address my lack of self-worth and to be able to set firm boundaries. From what my ex-teacher last told me, it seems that Mike's new relationship with the guy he cheated on me with didn't last, or it wasn't as smooth as I thought it to be. I don't have any more information about Mike's life other than his motorcycle was stolen at the beginning of 2024, and that he still went to the Era store, a trip that we were planning to do together. But I guess you can't stop people from accomplishing their dreams, even if you wanted to be part of them. My ex-teacher broke things off with his then boyfriend because of the same Swiftie friend group. So that goes to show how toxic those people are. And then same friend group had a falling out because of my ex-teacher's ex. So in a way, I feel a tiny bit bad for Mike. He lost the friends he was most close with and the relationship he chose over mine. Not quite sure about this last one though. I would like to tell you that I'm fully over him and that things have been amazing ever since. But unfortunately, since our breakup, my life has been in a steady all-time low. Not because of the breakup, but because that's life, I guess.
That's life.
I lost my first long-lasting job in April 2024. I changed to a new one where they stole my bonuses, changed to another one when I was fired with 40 plus people, got another job that let me continue in college, lost that one for underperformance. Now I'm looking for a new job that pays enough to continue into college and to pay my credit card off. Debt. By the way, you can continue listening to full episode stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime.
Oh, yeah.
Regarding love life, I've had swings here and there, usually with men who can say they want a serious relationship, but I can now see through their lies and don't fail to disappoint. Time and time again. They want to have someone only for them while being able to hook up with whoever they want. Yeah, no, thanks. I haven't been lucky with the ladies, unfortunately. I went out with one sweet, kind, and gorgeous girl, but she only wanted to hook up. Props to her for being upfront and not lying just to get what she wanted, though. I appreciated that, but unfortunately, that's not what I'm looking for. So yeah, that's my life up until now. Please send positive thoughts to be able to break this bad streak. Some of my friends told me that there might be something regarding witchcraft behind my bad luck, but I digress. Hee hee. OP, it'll come. Take your time.